This is the Manfrotto 190X video tripod and the 500 fluid head, also from Manfrotto. And we're going to be using this tripod setup out in the field today. I'm going to talk about the specifications of this tripod. We're going to go out and test it on deer and water birds. And then I'm going to evaluate this tripod and tell you what I think about the tripod and about how it compares to other tripod setups. And as a quick disclaimer, I have not been told or paid to say anything within this video. All thoughts and opinions are my own. That being said, a huge thank you to Manfrotto for sending us this tripod to take out into the field like we are today, so that we can give it a proper test and review. The biggest challenge that wildlife photographers and videographers face is trying to get stable footage. And when you have lenses that zoom up to 600 millimeters, getting a stable image or video is very difficult. That's because when you're zoomed in so far, your camera is looking at such a tiny fraction of the distance that any movement whatsoever causes a large amount of shake. Fluid heads like this one, the Manfrotto 500, have fluid within the joints, and they create drag so that as you move your tripod, you get completely smooth footage. This one here has a resistance of 2.4 kilograms, and don't worry, that doesn't mean you have to carry 2.4 kilograms. This tripod setup altogether weighs 3.2 kilograms. That 2.4 kilograms of resistance comes super handy when you want to do moving video. You see, having that resistance means that when you move the camera, you have to put in enough effort to actually make the camera move. As much as that doesn't initially sound attractive, it means that you get smooth footage because the camera doesn't jolt all over the place. The weight adds to the smoothness, which gets great footage. You'll see later on in the video. The other thing that helps is this handle. Now, this handle is currently attached to the right side of the tripod head. That's because I'm right-handed. But if you're left-handed, fear not. This handle comes off, so you can have the tripod without it, or you can add it to the left side of the tripod head. As you can see, this video head is very large, and it allows it to carry camera setups of up to 8 kilograms. Here I have my Canon 7D Mark II and my Sigma 150 to 600 millimeter lens. This setup weighs about 4 kilograms, so this tripod head is doing perfectly fine. It allows you to take cameras with accessories, or if you have those huge fancy 12,000 pound lenses, you should be alright. You can also carry 1DXs on here, those larger cameras, or you can put a large telescope or field scope on it. Whatever you need, this tripod head will probably be able to carry. The legs of this tripod are the 190X, and it's a decent sized tripod. It feels good in your hands. This tripod has a minimum size of 72 centimeters, and that's 50 centimeters if you don't attach the head, and it can extend up to 173 centimeters. These legs have very substantial clips. These clips are very strong. When they go out, you've got to properly clip them down. I haven't yet, but the day I get my fingers caught in them, it's not going to be a great day. But you don't have to worry about your tripod legs sliding down while you're trying to take videos. The legs can be brought out to 4 angles. You can have it at 25 degrees. You can have it at 46 degrees. You can have it at 66 degrees, or you can have it at 88 degrees. That allows you to get this tripod flat in almost any environment. This tripod head also has a ball socket that attaches it to the tripod, and that allows you to make small adjustments to get this video head level. And now that we know everything about this tripod, it's time to put it to the test. My first stop is the lake in the middle of Bushy Park, where there should be a bunch of birds. We're going to video some closer and some further away to see if this tripod can truly stabilize and get smooth footage from a 600mm lens. Now I've had a chance to play around with this tripod, it's time for me to tell you what I think about using it out in the field. First of all, we're going to start with the pros. It makes your camera so smooth. You can pan and you can tilt your camera and it is so smooth. You saw the footage. We had footage at 150mm and we also had footage at 600mm. This tripod didn't fault. It was beautifully smooth, and with the dials you can lock it and you can also change the resistance, allowing you to pan and tilt it with different levels of resistance depending on how easy or quickly you want the camera to pan. With this tripod, there is so much customability. You can set the legs to so many different levels, but also on the head. The way you can switch the handle has actually come in handy depending on how I want to carry or where the tripod is positioned. There is also a 1/4 or 3/8 thread on the side of this video head if you wanted to attach things like a monitor. That could come super in handy, and I noticed it, although I haven't used it today. It's something which is in the back of my mind for when I want to use, as I say, something like a monitor or an external flash or light. Another feature I love about this tripod is how easy it is to remove the camera and then put it back on. You simply slot it in from the top and it clicks into place. Once it's there, it is locked forward and backwards so it's not going to fall off, and you can tighten it with a screw to balance out the tripod. This makes it super efficient to set up your tripod when it comes to photographing wildlife, and as all wildlife photographers know, every second you can gain at getting a chance to take that photo or video is worth it. So now we're going to talk about the things that aren't so great about this tripod setup. First of all, it is very heavy. I noticed walking from one side of Bushy Park to the other that my arms were aching from carrying this tripod. So you need to be prepared and you need to make sure you're actually going to use it on your trips. Another feature is the price. This tripod comes in at about £470. That is quite a large spend. However, we're going to compare this tripod head in particular to a gimbal head and a ball head. Both tripod heads that I've used in the past. Now, ball heads are just not good for video, but you can do photography with them, especially if you're using a smaller lens. A gimbal is fantastic for taking photos with a long lens because the axis that it turns on is above the camera and the gimbal can hang. That allows the heavy lens to feel like it doesn't weigh anything at all. However, when it comes to video, it's still not completely smooth because there is no resistance. With this video fluid head, it allows you to have complete resistance and it allows you to have those smooth pans and tilts. However, if I want to really quickly adjust the camera from this position to pointing backwards, I have to work with that resistance to swing it round, which is where a gimbal head may beat this one. The gimbal head you can throw around super quickly. Gimbals are also great for making the camera feel weightless, and once this one is balanced correctly, this camera also feels weightless on top of this head. The resistance means I have to use very little effort at all. I can do it with one finger and it works incredibly smoothly. So I have had an absolute blast today taking this tripod out and testing it in the real world. I hope it's helped you being able to see what it's like to use it and hear my opinions from having it here in person. The links for this tripod are down in the description, so you can click on that to go over to Manfrotto's page and see this tripod on their page, where you'll find all the specifications and the price that it is in your area. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe and comment any questions you have down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.